Welcome once again to Emmaus Walk, and this is the fourth in our series on sin. And here I want to suggest that when we sin, we become slaves to sin. Whatever particular sin you are involved in, you will see that that sin begins to control your life. That sin begins to dictate what you think about, what you do, what you spend your money on, what you discuss with others, what you spend your time on phone doing. Everything about your life is controlled by that sin. So you become a slave to that sin. And Jesus will say it nicely in John's Gospel chapter 8 verse 34 when he says that when we sin, everyone who sins becomes a slave to sin, because the sin becomes your master and it directs you, it dictates to you. St. Augustine says something beautiful. He says that every desire has a corresponding satisfaction. And the reason why we sin is because we are looking to use some satisfaction which is not appropriate to satisfy a particular desire. And he says that the desire of the soul is different from the desire, say, of food or hunger. So when you feel a desire for food, which is hunger, the thing that satisfies it is food. When you feel a desire of thirst for water, the thing that satisfies it is water. So if you are thirsty and you drink Coke, you will still be thirsty. If you are thirsty, you eat food, you will still be thirsty, because the satisfaction that corresponds to the desire of thirst is water. The satisfaction that corresponds to the desire of food or of hunger is food. Now, the same thing he says of the soul, that the satisfaction that corresponds to the desire of the soul is God. So when an object or a thing or an attitude enslaves you, you think it will bring you some satisfaction. So some particular person, some particular thing, some particular behavior begins to enslave you and begins to dictate to you the way you should live your life. But the desire of the soul is God. So you cannot satisfy that desire with human beings or with objects, material objects. What you satisfy the soul with is the presence of God. My dear brother, my dear sister, begin to note this and don't let anything enslave you. Somebody tells a story of a young boy and a sister in the house. So someone tells a story of a boy and a sister in the house. The young boy has gone out to the woods with his catapult trying to get a bird. He was unsuccessful, so he didn't get a bird. So he comes home and the duck they have been preparing for Easter, in our case, or Christmas, was there. So he just tried his hands on the duck and pop, he hits the duck and the duck dies. Immediately he decides that he is going to bury the duck. So he digs a little hole, puts the duck in there, covers it. Right when he was done and he turned, his sister was standing behind him. Say, this young boy is called Kofi and the sister is called Ajua. Ajua stands behind Kofi and just smiles. And all of a sudden, there is a silent agreement. They get into the house. There is no discussion. The mother calls, Ajua, come and wash the plates. Ajua says, Mommy, Kofi says he will wash for me. And because of the silent agreement, Kofi has to go and wash the plates. The father says, Kofi, let's go to town. Ajua says, oh, Kofi says he's not feeling fine, so this time I should go for him. Kofi is unhappy, but he has become a slave to the sister. And so when the sister says anything, and that is only because he is sinned. He's done what is wrong. This goes on for a while. And when it had gone on for a bit, Kofi was tired. And so Kofi decides that he will tell the mother about what had gone on. So goes to the mother in the kitchen and says to the mother, Mommy, please, I have done something I want to confess. One day when I was coming from town, and you know when you are making a confession like this, it doesn't come out easily. I tried my hands on the duck and unfortunately it hit the duck and then I buried the duck. And the mother was smiling at Kofi. And the mother at the end of the confession says to Kofi, Kofi, when you hit the duck, I saw you from the kitchen. And I saw your sister was standing behind you. And from that day on, I have seen that you have become a slave to your sister. And each time, your sister is dictating to you, and you are doing at her bidding. And I was wondering, for how long will you continue to be a slave to your sister? Even when I saw you then, I forgave you. So you don't have any problem with me. This is what happens to us. In fact, God has seen what you have done. God has decided already to forgive you. Do not remain a slave to sin. Come back to God. Amen.